everyone, and welcome to another edition of Cafecito con NHCOA. During today's session, we will discuss the important topic of nutrition, specifically in our elder years as we continue to age. What we eat plays a role in how we feel, how we move, and especially how we age. In fact, as we grow older, our body and its nutritional needs changes. So implementing a good diet full of nutrition to our daily lives helps support our immune system, maintain muscle mass and strength, and protect bone health, among many other health benefits. However, implementing a nutritious diet as an older adult can be easier said than done. So there are distinct challenges that older adults face, including decreased appetite and limited access to healthy foods, which easily obstructs efforts to commit to a healthy, nutritious diet. So how can older adults overcome these challenges? How can they still manage to receive the nutrients they need for a good quality of life? So our guest speaker, Dr. Gabriela Améndariz, joined us today to help guide us through this important area of discussion. Dr. Améndariz is the Director of Evaluation at Food Insight Group. So thank you all for joining us today, and let's get started.
So, Christine, as we age, our body change, right? So we lose muscle, our bones get weaker, and we may feel more tired. So eating well helps us to stay strong, active, independent. It can also help us to avoid getting sick. So, like the most common things are some adults, older adults, don't get enough vitamin D, which is good for the bones, vitamin B12, which is for the energy and nerves, calcium for the strong bones, fiber for digestion, protein for the muscles. So to prevent this, I recommend to eat foods like fish, milk, yogurt, eggs, beans, whole grains, and leafy greens. Some people also need vitamins or supplements, and for that, I recommend to ask your doctors or your dietitian. Let me start that by saying that as we get older, we use less energy. So that means that we need fewer calories, but we still need lots of nutrients, right? So it is better to eat healthy food like fruits, vegetables, and protein, and avoid junk food and sugar. Well, the short answer is yes. Healthy food can help prevent or control diseases. For example, in older adults, to prevent diabetes or to control diabetes, I recommend to eat fiber-rich foods like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. For our heart health, I recommend to eat less salt and more healthy fats. For example, like avocados, like olive oil, and things like that. I recommend to eat fish or nuts. And for the health of the bones, I recommend to get calcium and vitamin D from dairy or fortified foods. Also for vitamin D, I recommend to go out in the sun, right? Not to expose yourself, but like for 10 minutes to 15 minutes to get some vitamin D. And also, it is essential for older adults to eat enough protein to stay strong. Older adults may not feel thirsty. But of course they still need water, right? So because water helps with memory, with digestion, and keeping our body to working well. So I recommend, like, in older adults, even if they are not feeling thirsty, to still drink the water, right? To make it a habit, and to drink from 6 to 8 cups a day. And this can come from simple water, from tea, and also I recommend to include fruits like watermelon or melon that have a lot of water. That also helps with the water intake. One of them is cook with them, right? Or help to prep food for the week. That's an easy one. Make meals for and social, maybe once a week, meet and have fun. Help with easy tools or utensils. Remember that as we age, it can become difficult to cook by ourselves. Give smaller meals more often instead of big ones that feel harder for them to eat, or when they see the portions, like, what is this? And let them choose food they enjoy and know, right? Don't try as we age, it's harder for us to try new things. So just let them choose whatever they prefer to eat, as long as it's healthy. Traditional foods give us comfort and connection. They remind us of home and family. So many of them, and also let's keep in mind that many of traditional foods are healthy. So, like, for example, the beans, the soups, the vegetables, the tortillas. So a lot of the traditional foods that come from the Latino community, Hispanic community, for example, it's very healthy. So let them have them and let them remember their connections to their own culture. And because I believe that it's very important to keep our traditions. But of course, we Latinos, we love the salt, we love the fat. So just avoiding like that many salt or that much salt and less fat, it can be beneficial. So first of all, I always recommend, like, if you feel like veggies are like you feel like they're expensive, so you can buy frozen vegetables and fruit. They are cheaper and they last longer. Also, use beans, lentils, and eggs. I know that sometimes right at that moment eggs are not as cheap, but when they are cheaper, they are really a really good source of protein. Plan your meals and make a list before shopping. Doing this avoid us to go over budget. Look for community programs, food programs. They can help. Read the labels. For example, look for low salt, not added sugar, and low fat. And if you don't go with your caregiver, for example, and you feel like you don't understand, you can always ask an employee, and I'm sure there's going to be someone that is willing to help you. Buy in bulk and freeze the rest. That can be cheaper. And also look for senior deals or discount stores. And farmers markets, believe it or not, sometimes it can be a cheap option, because sometimes they have these boxes where you can fill in with everything you need or everything you want, vegetables or fruits, and they have sometimes pretty decent prices.
So thank you all for joining us today and endeavoring to learn more about good nutrition and its importance in the aging process. We hope it proved a valuable and insightful conversation. And a big thank you to Dr. Gabriela Améndariz as well for her excellent guidance and expertise. So we invite you to continue to share this Cafecito con NHCOA with your family members, friends, and greater community. Don't forget to stay connected with us through our digital platforms in social media. You can find us at NHCOA for more resources, updates, and future events. So until the next Cafecito con NHCOA, bye-bye.